And welcome to the Gallagher Event Center. I'm Ben Davies. I'll be talking at you for tonight. We have the Regis Rangers visiting the number 18th ranked team in the nation for Division II women's volleyball. If you tuned in last weekend, you saw the first home win for the Mountain Lions against Minot State. And this weekend is Whiteout Weekend, and we'll kind of kick off some homecoming festivities around campus. So if you are not doing anything tomorrow night, we have another game and more Whiteout Weekend t-shirts to give out, so please come in to the stadium or Gallagher Event Center and hang out with us, cheer on this team. Definitely need some cheers tonight and some home court advantage against the Regis Rangers. They're a very strong opponent, and they are a little bit taller than our team. They're a little bit better blocking team, stronger defensively, and I don't know if Mountain Lions have quite seen that yet this year against the teams they were matched up against in the Invitational. Regis Rangers has Nikki Kennedy hitting middle for them. She comes in at 6'4", and then she already on the season has 41 total blocks. That's something that the Mountain Lions will have to deal with. Luckily for them, they run a very fast-paced offense, and we shall see that tonight in effect against a huge block, and they'll need to keep that fast, in-pace, in-tempo offense to get around it. Right now we're just announcing the home team. Lauren Brown was just announced there. I think Coach Chris Yeller is going to try to match Lauren Brown against Nikki Kennedy and try to deal with that great hitting and blocking attack with the best height that the Mountain Lions have on the other side of the net for their middle hitters. So should be interesting matchups tonight. Really hoping for the crowd to get into it. I'm really hoping for Clyde to get into it. You can see him there kind of at the top of your screen marching around. I love it when we get Clyde going in these loud home environments. And then here, Taylor Smith for the Mountain Lions just was announced, and she is the points leader currently for the Mountain Lions. She has been hitting really well off the right side. We expect a lot out of her tonight as well in this key matchup. Another thing I love about this Mountain Lion team, as you saw from a lot of the carryover from last year, is they only graduated one senior last year. So a lot of these players are coming back, and they love to bring the energy, and they love to smile and laugh and celebrate their points. As you can see, Josie Russell scream in our direction just there. Really interested to see how these lineups come out of this huddle. But we're about to see one of my favorite parts of volleyball. It's right after this handshake. They each get into their little huddles and go a little crazy. Like I said, I love that emotion from this team. Hopefully we get to see a lot of that tonight. A lot of celebrating their victories. Hopefully. You can. I am a homer caster, so if you're from Regis, I apologize. I am 100% rooting for UCCS here. And it is a tough challenge that I think that they'll face tonight with the Regis Rangers, but I think that if the Mountain Lions are able to get their passing and their serve receive on point, and they get those tight passes and run that quick offense, I think they'll be able to negate some of that bigger blocking power of Regis. And then, of course, if we can get this crowd into it, you never know. Home field advantage is always crazy. Just look at Mile High, right? We're a little higher altitude down here, so obviously that doesn't matter to Regis because they're not coming from too far away, but, you know, that kind of stuff. So looking at this lineup coming out, it looks like Josie Russell. No, she's wandering around. I can't tell where she's lining up. Yeah, I think she's front right now, which should match her up against Nikki Kennedy of the Regis Rangers, the 6'4" middle hitter for them. Serving first here is Regis. We have. All right, let's see what we got here. All three hitters available for UCCS right off the bat. Good pass from Jordan Kinsey. That's back to Taylor Reed. Good tool off the block. Big swing. That looked like it hit the pin at some point. Yes, points UCCS. Little indecision there from the down ref and the lines judge, but up ref making the call there. First point going to the Mountain Lions. Jordan Kinsey back to serve. She's a libero. see a lot of her tonight. Ooh, Taylor Smith with the solo block. Back to Kennedy, and she tips it, and there's a touch and out. It was a good play from her, recognizing that double block. Mountain Lions clearly keying on Kennedy there, knowing the threat she poses on offense. And then Kennedy is now back to serve here. 1-1 game. It's a little rough pass. Those are going to happen. Once again, I was talking about earlier in the game, we want that serve receive. This is right what we're talking about. If we can get this worked out, I think the Mountain Lions have a good chance tonight. So if they can fix that. Very fast set outside and tipped. Take them a little out of system. Big swing outside. Good up from Warren, but it's just over and down. It was a good dig, just couldn't keep it on our side of the net. She's right in the right place. Mountain Lions look a little anxious right now. See if they can settle down. One more good pass. And that's long. Mountain Lions catch a break. Now back to service, Taylor Smith. For the front row for the Mountain Lions, we have Lauren Brown and Lauren Shockley and Emily Etel. We'll see if they can get a big point here. Good touch, good up, right back to her. Ref's calling that double. We've been calling this pretty tight this year, so I'm sure we'll see more of that. Now serving for the Rangers is Mara LaGrange. Good serve, well passed from Allie Morgan. Big swing from the outside from Lauren Shockley. And to celebrate accordingly, that was a big double block she had to face there, and she hit that far deep corner, finding that spot. And then she's now back to serve. Grace Nelson in the front row now for the Mountain Lions as well. Oh, big swing out of the middle, nice touch. The free ball coming over, some miscommunication there. You hate to see that. Great up though. Coach Chrissy Elder getting into her team there. Doesn't like the miscommunication. Mountain Lions have a split hit offense with a setter front row, making a setter available for an attack. See if we can get that pass, make that an option. There it is. Oh, a quick slide from Lauren Brown. They really attacked that block by speeding up that play. So it's a lot smaller or a lot shorter set, not as high arcing. And as usual, Lauren Brown is subbed out for Raylan Edge, who's back to serve. She's been serving well this year, so hopefully we can get some big points here. Oh, great set back. Big swing, but just out. That was a great set. It's just setter, or the right side hitter just didn't seem like she was expecting it. It came a little too fast. Point Mountain Lions. Ooh, good rip down the line. There was not a lot of room there between the Mountain Lion block and the antenna, but they found it and got a point. Not much we can do there. Just a 1 point lead for the Ranger here. Mountain Lions now in that left side stack with Josie Russell and Grace Nelson as options. Ooh, tough pass. High ball for Grace Nelson on the outside. Oh, she found a way to get it in. That set was way high and way off the net, facing a big double block, and she just takes the off-speed shot, finds that campfire room in the middle of the court. Emily Etel back to serve. She's been serving really well lately as well. Well, there's another good back set. Point Mountain Lions, that swing was just out. Some little struggles here early on from the Rangers. Another good serve. Ooh, finding Kennedy on that off the net middle set swing. Kind of keep Mountain Lions defense on their toes. Maybe they thought that pass wasn't quite tight enough for them to run that play, but they forced it into her, and she got that hard angle kill. Tie game. Ooh, tough pass. And they're calling it a net. I couldn't tell from my angle if it was the ball or the player, but they're calling it on the player. So, and the Mountain Lions switch it up and push Grace Nelson to the left side, trying to get her out of this passing rotation. Well received. Out to Nelson. Big swing down the line. And that's exactly why they made that rotation right there. Got to get one of your better hitters, Grace Nelson, where she's most comfortable, and that's on that left side of the court. Allie Morgan just subbed in for the Mountain Lions, and she's now back to serve. If you listened to my cast before, you know I love her serve. She's got this top spin lefty hit. It kind of rolls from right to left of the passers. She had a good serve, well received, but Kennedy just too much there. Big swing. Sub for the Rangers, Kelsey Green in the front row now. And number 13, Caitlin Burroway is back to serve. Great pass. Quick outside. Lauren Shockley with a great swing. Free ball for the Mountain Lions. Back to Taylor Smith. Shoots at angle. There you go. That's a huge point for the Mountain Lions. That was some good volleyball right there. They're definitely keeping their offense fast, especially when they get that pass, and they had that pass. Oh, maybe going a little too fast here. The down ref just wants them to redo this sub a little slower and let the scorekeepers an opportunity to write it down. Jordan Kinsey now back to serve with a tie game, looking for a point to take the lead. Ooh, she went for it there, going for that line shot, just out of bounds. Kennedy back to serve for the Rangers. Mountain Lions, great pass. Ooh, better block there. High ball outside. Ooh, and that's just way too long. Point to the Mountain Lions. Another uncharacteristic error for the Regis Rangers. That has to be about half their points to this point. Taylor Smith back to serve. Oh, looked like it might have been long, but they played it anyways. And then that's long. Rangers wanted a touch. I'm not sure there was one. If the coach wants to, he's going to challenge it, and it looks like he will. This is the new challenge system this year, if you have just watching this for the first time. So the coaches have a green card up by the scorer's table. You can kind of see it here on the bottom right of your screen where I'm sitting. Hi. So we have these green cards, and they're playing, or the coach can come up and take out the green card and challenge the call. So you can see the down ref here looking at the monitor, and he's looking to see if he can tell if there's a touch on the video replay. He'll take some stop motions and try to freeze the frame right there where the ball is potentially touching a player's hand. So they get some slow motion replays to try to determine the call. That's a good angle right there, or that down ref looking right at that screen. And you can also see the screen that the operator is using to try to determine if that touch actually occurred. And of course I'm sitting right next to them, so it looks really close right now. We'll see. Here, this is probably the best we're gonna see it. That frame just before it, it's really tough to see. These replays, of course, are a momentum killer. Certainly, they take a lot of time out of the game, but I think it's important to try to get the call right. And that's exactly why they instituted it. Oh, okay, we got a Clyde cam going. Clyde in the stands. He's trying to entertain everybody during this replay timeout. Doesn't seem to be doing too much. Oh, okay, there we go. There's a little something. Okay, we'll run a few replays here. Some players serving. Oh, wait, this is that big kill from Lauren Shockley in that cross court. Just notice that tempo they use here on that set, keeping it really quick so the block doesn't get a chance to really form too well. Oh, and the call is in. Down ref says, play calls at stand. No touch, point to the Mountain Lions. So a wasted challenge, and then now the down ref is talking to head coach of Regis Raiders, Joel List. He's still questioning the call, but not much doing there. So we're back live, and here's Taylor Smith to serve. Oh, tricky. Emily Etzel with the setter dump. We talked about that a little earlier with her front row. She's definitely a threat to do that. She seems to recognize when the blockers aren't paying too much attention to her. And there, they didn't even jump with her, and so easy point for them. Ooh, and Taylor Smith just logged on that serve. Point to Regis on that. Number 4 now in the game, Izzy Gosar for the Rangers, with number 16, Mara LeGrand, back to serve. Good pass from Kinsey. Ooh, tight outside. Just an easy ball over. Feeding the middle on that quick slide, but shut down that time. They're keeping the tempo on that back slide for Lauren Brown, but Regis saw it once last time and they're prepared for it this time. They had a better block ready. Back to a tie game. Ooh, a little tight and over. Unfortunate error there. That's a big point for Regis, but keeping it close throughout this first set. And I hate to see it fall apart because the serve receive, the Mountain Lions are only passing, have 2 passers back on their serve receive right now, so they have to cover a lot of court. Back-to-back serve receive errors there, and so 2 for Regis. And Coach Chrissy Elder for the Mountain Lions is going to call a timeout here. Just try to break up the rhythm of their server and hopefully get them being the Regis Rangers, out of a rhythm and help her team kind of compose themselves and collect. We'll see what they do coming out of the timeout. If they stick with that 2-person serve receiver, if they try to get a third body in there and make it a little easier, less court for each person to try to pass, which definitely, the reason they do that, of course, is because those are their 2 best passers. They have Allie Morgan and Jordan Kinsey, and they're the 2 best passers in the team, and so they figure they can probably cover that amount of court, and they usually do. But Regis just really attacking that and trying to, on that last serve, they served right kind of towards the angle, right kind of down the line on the near side. And so Kinsey has to step over where normally that would be where Taylor Reed was standing if she was to serve receive. So we'll see what they do out of this timeout. Everybody looks cool, calm, and collected. There's usually a lot more emotion going on in these huddles for the team, but not tonight. There's just a little more calm, I would say. So coming out of this timeout, Mountain Lions down 2. And it looks like they're going to stick with that 2-person serve receive. You see Taylor Smith kind of in the back part of that court. And there you go. Coach Elder gets the point that time. I always award these points to the coaches. They call a timeout, get a service error, point to their team. You see there, Grace Nelson just came in the game from front row, and Lauren Shockley is back to serve. Oh, double hit there. Great serve from Lauren Shockley. See if she can do that again. She's attacking that stack on the near side of your screen currently, trying to break up so they can't start their approaches as well. Ooh, big swing out of the middle. That was number 15, Kristen Hornug. And now in the game, number 5, Hannah Kennedy for the Regis Rangers. Mountain Lions with this split hitter offense. Ooh, a little too quick that time. Big swing across. Lauren Shockley's there with a great dig. Free ball for the Rangers, though. And Kinsey with another up. Keeping that in tempo, in system kind of speed from the off now. Big kill for Grace Nelson. That pass was at about the 10-foot line, and Emily Etzel kept the tempo on it for Grace Nelson to kind of combat that block. And she just jumped so well and hit right at the top of the block and got that kill. Raylan Edge now in to serve. Oh, great serve down the line. Well passed, though. And hit out. Rangers trying to run that quick 31 to the middle as well. And it was a little tough with that quick pass as well to kind of get there in time. So another uncharacteristic error for the Rangers, which I suppose is becoming characteristic at this point in the set. Oh, good touch, but just not enough. They run that 31 right again, just repeating that error, which I guess you don't see too often. But they went right back to the hitter that just made that error and set them again to keep that mentality going, and they got a kill. Smith with a tough pass, and Nelson's far off the net. Oh, with a tough angle shot. Free ball coming from the Mountain Lions. Pushing Josie Russell on the step out. Tip from the Rangers. And then that quick outside set. Now the Mountain Lions are the ones looking for a touch, not getting it. And Coach Chrissy Elder's pointing at the line judge saying, hey, the line judge called the touch. The ref called the touch. You got to go with your line judge. He has the angle. That's why he's there. That's why he's standing there. So they're going to have a quick meeting between the refs to see what they get. Grace Nelson definitely hit it. She kind of spatched it out with a flat hand and sent it sailing. And the ref now does change his call. He's going with his side judge. Point to the Mountain Lions. That's a big point for the Mountain Lions. Emily Etzel back to serve. She has this standing float. She kind of puts her toe on the end line and just kind of hits this flat, not very high float that doesn't really get too far above the net, so it's kind of hard to adjust to as a serve receive. Oh, good dig from Emily. Overpasses Doug again, and 2 touches and just out of reach. Great hustle from Mountain Lions, though. Those are some good touches. I like to see that from the team. Definitely keeping themselves in the game with plays like that. No easy points. Tie game, though, for the Regis Raiders as they have this serve. Good pass. Ooh, they run that 2 out of the middle. Doug. And then a tip back. Push it back to Taylor Smith. Ooh, she gets it just over the block and down. That's a great tip. Mara LeGrand was there on the coverage. It was just so tight to the net. And it kind of tipped off Kennedy, the middle blocker's hands a little bit, kind of pushed it into the net a little bit. So a little tough dig there. Allie Morgan now in the game, back to serve with a 1-point lead for the Mountain Lions. Oh, good touch on the block and a great dig. Allie Morgan with a roll over. She hits it into the net. I like to see that mentality, though. Just go for it there. You're way out of system, and you're faced with the decision to put over a free ball for the other team and kind of give them a free swing, or to do something a little harder and not let that happen. Good coverage on her own hit from Smith. Russell out of the middle, keeping him honest. Oh, good block and touch. Oh, force it into the middle. They're calling hands, it sounds like. As I said earlier on that first call, they've been calling those really tight so far in the season. And it's a little rare to see it on a middle set hands called, but they called that double. Jordan Kinsey back to serve with a 1-point lead. Oh, great touch from Kinsey. Great up from Morgan. Free ball, though. Inside attack. Great dig from Oily Morgan. Push it into the middle. Well received. Oh, that slide from Kennedy. She hits it out of bounds. She really was going for that angle. She saw a seam in the block and just missed it out of bounds. The bench is going crazy here for the Mountain Lions. They now have a 2-point lead in this first set. Kinsey still serving. Great serve down the line, well received. Good dig. Oh, it just popped over. Reset the play. Oh, setter dump, great dig. Ooh, the push deep. That is a great, great spot. That's number 10, Kelsey Green with the kill. She noticed that setter Emily Attell on the on the line. It was creeping in, and that's how she got dug that last time on her line shot. And so she decided to push it deep and got a kill. Taylor Smith with a big swing through the seam, but just out, no touch. Point Rangers. That ties up the game here now. Nikki Kennedy still serving. Ooh, quick pass. Ooh, that's a great play from the Mountain Lions. It was a quick pass, quick set. Lauren Brown finds that deep right corner. Lauren Brown loves those deep corners, and she's going to find a lot of kills there. It's hard to defend for the other team when you hit those spots. Taylor Smith now serving. All over the setter dump is Lauren Shockley with the big block and the big points. Now a 2-point lead here. Mountain Lions just need 3 more to close up the set. Regis has not used a timeout yet. I would expect them to use one. Another great serve. Ooh, they're saying the tip out from Lauren Brown was not touched by the Rangers. And Coach Chris Yelder is going to challenge that call and say, I think there was a touch. So back to the replays. We're going to go through this process again, and we'll see if Mountain Lions can walk away with a point here after reviewing it. So what's going to happen is we're going to see an overpass from the Rangers, and the ball's coming to Lauren Brown. She's going to attack it with 2 hands. From my seat here, it looks like that replay shows touch, but we'll see what the final ruling is. Let's go to the Clyde cam. Let's get this crowd going. They're all a little lethargic, I feel like, especially considering the situation this first set has brought us to. I feel like there should be a lot more emotion, a lot more cheering. We got some air guitars in the crowd. I guess Axl Rose does it for this generation as well. Maybe not Clyde, though. Oh, shout out to our athletic director, Nate Gibson. Clyde's discussing a replay there, I think, with him. I really don't know what to say during these replays. You know, we don't have access to those cameras necessarily, so it looks like the down ref has made his decision. He's just communicating now with the scorers table. They're adjusting everything, and the announcer here will announce the call. And we'll get it. Point Mountain Lions. That's a huge point. I love it. See, the scoreboard should change. I believe it's 23-20 now. 3-point lead for the Mountain Lions. And Taylor Smith is still serving. Regis has a front stack with a front row setter. See how they attack this Mountain Lion defense here and try to climb back in. And of course, right after the replay timeout, Coach Joel List calls a timeout for the Rangers. Get an even longer break. Taylor Smith is being iced twice for this big serve. Mountain Lions trying to close out this first set. They have a good lead going in. They just need 2 more points to close out the set, whereas the Regis Rangers need 5. So definitely in a good spot. We'll see what happens. And Regis electing to not use the full timeout and just kind of going right back on the court. We'll see what the Mountain Lions decide to do. If both teams are on the court, they'll start the game, but there's no reason they have to. Once again, the huddle for the Mountain Lions is a lot more calm and collected than usual. They, generally speaking, at least last year in the first year's home tournament, an emotional team. There we go. I don't know if you can hear some of the screaming that just happened in that auto, so prove me wrong. All right, here we go. Regis in their same lineup and Mountain Lions in their same setup, and Taylor Smith to serve. Oh, good serve, keeping that pass off the net. High outside, big block from the Mountain Lions. And then set back, ooh, through the seam, a great dig by Taylor Smith, and Lauren Brown goes for the set and is called for the double. Maybe a predictable outcome from that situation, but I love to see middle set in transition like that, especially on a broken play. So love the idea. Execution could use some work. Kinsey with the serve. Down ref is calling a rotation error. He's saying that Taylor Smith and Emily Attell are opposite, and they were crossed over each other in there, so they can't do that, is what they're saying, which is, of course, correct. And so a timeout for the Mountain Lions. And we're right back where we are. This is just kind of like the end of a basketball game. If you're a fan of the NBA or college basketball and like to watch March Madness, you get to this end of the game and you're just calling your timeouts, intentionally fouling, trying to stop the clock. That's this part of the game for volleyball. For the Mountain Lions, they're out of timeouts after this. So they're burning essentially all their tools, all their cards in their hands to just kind of regroup here and push for 2 points. They're in a good situation. They just need to side out. They have a front row setter, Lauren Brown, front row, and I believe Lauren Shockley front row. And then they'll have that 1 point, and they'll be back to serve, and then they'll just need that big point, that big defensive stop. So they're in a good spot right now, but Regis climbing back, and this is a team that has been playing really well so far this beginning of the season, so no stranger to this kind of adversity for a set. All right, here we go, 1 point game. Regis serving. Good pass from Kinsey. In tempo, good swing, double dig. Ooh, free ball coming. Push it back to the outside. Well received off that soft block. Trying to force the middle. Good dig from Taylor Smith, setting the back row. Taylor Smith stepped in front of Allie Morgan there. Big swing from the outside. Well received, forcing it into Lauren Brown. A little off play. Ooh, they called the hands again. Really setting that precedent. This is a crunch time situation, and that's a big call. So this is set point for the Mountain Lions. Lauren Shockley to serve. Mountain Lions just need one stop here to close out the set. Big block. Going backside this time. Big swing in the seam. Great dig by Lauren Shockley. Quick set. Oh, great block from Regis. They had that quick tempo to the outside again for Grace Nelson like they've been doing all set, and she was just stopped this time. They really keyed in on that line that time and closed down and turned into the court and got that big block. That's huge. Mountain Lions still have a point. They have another chance to side out and end this set though here. Good pass. Back to Nelson again, repeating this set. And she crushes that ball 10 foot, and that's the first set to the Mountain Lions. That was great volleyball from the Mountain Lions. They definitely took it to Regis. Regis with some errors that I don't think we're likely to see in the second set, quite honestly. A lot of hitting errors from them. So I guess we'll just take a couple-minute break real quick in between sets, and then we'll come back at the start of the second set. Thanks. All right, and we're back here at the Gallagher Event Center for the second set of this 5-set match. We have the Regis Rangers visiting if you're just joining us. First set went to the Mountain Lions, which was great. Love it. Love to see that on the weekends, whiteout weekend. Team definitely looking happy and excited. Kind of back to the things I was saying at the end of the first set. The Rangers had some uncharacteristic errors in that first set, especially hitting-wise. They had 2 hitters with a negative hitting percentage in that game, which is very much unlike them. The highest hitter on their team was, of course, Nikki Kennedy. She was hitting .333 with 3 kills. Kills leader for Mountain Lions was Grace Nelson last game. Here we go, that first point though. Great serve to start it off. Big swing from the right side. 2 great digs from Lauren Shockley. Oh, a little miscommunication there from the Mountain Lions. Ooh, set over that time. I believe that's a net there from new in the game. Number 1, Regis Rangers, Rachel Sirik. So points to the Mountain Lions. Shockley serving that same passer this time. Kennedy on that 31 with a big swing. That's that tough matchup I was talking about. We're going to continue to see that all game. Now in for the Rangers is number 7, Sophie Greasy. So Rangers changing up their lineup just a little bit this set. Good pass. Back to Brown, facing that big double block. Kennedy with a huge swing down the line and out. It's another hitting error for the Rangers. Not sure if we're going to see that fixed or not tonight. Moving on, Raylan Edge is now serving for the Mountain Lions. Oh, great coverage on the dump. Feeding the middle. Some back and forth here. Big swing on the outside from Regis. That's number 13, Caitlin Burroway. Regis Rangers changed up their offense to the outside on that play. They were just really kind of like a 32, more in the court set for Burroway that time. It's a big swing from Grace Nelson. Awesome up from Burroway. And then right back with Kenzie with a great dig. Oh, straddling her own teammate to get that ball up. Don't see that every play. Big swing on the outside. Refs conferring, yes, point UCCS. That was a tight set, and Grace Nelson was tiptoeing that line. And then it looks like the side judge was calling that the ball hit the antenna at some point. Kennedy taking something off on that slide that time. She was expecting a quicker set. She kind of stopped her approach and just rolled it into the seam of that block right between the 2 blockers, finding the open court. And then she gets to go back to serve. Gets a kill, takes that energy, that excitement, uses it on her serve now. Tough pass off the net. Ooh, just a pushover from Taylor Smith, and it kind of threw them off. And point to the Mountain Lions. See that sub at the bottom of your screen. Allie Morgan's now in the game. Which is that top spin from her lefty. It kind of comes across the court, right to left for the defender. And you don't see it very often, so it can throw you off as a passer. There's that 31 the Rangers love so much. Great dig from Emily Attell. A little back and forth. Big swing out of the middle, finding that deep corner. That is a smart swing. That's number 15, Kristen Hornug. And then now back to serve, number 16, Mara LeGrand for the Rangers. Kinsey with a good pass. Josie Russell going for that deep corner and gets the kill. Burroway with another acrobatic attempt at a dig. I think we might see some more highlights from her before the game's over. Jordan Kinsey back to serve, and Lauren Brown is back in the front row, calling out the hitters and letting everybody know what the defense is. Good serve down the line. Big swing on that slide, just finding the line, angle-ish attack. Number 5 now in the game, Hannah Kennedy for the Rangers, and she's back to serve. Ooh, tough pass. Not sure exactly what happened there, but Emily Attell was going for the one-handed set. Lauren Brown just kind of smacked her right into the bottom of the net. And Mountain Lions looking for a sub, and I don't really know what that was. Back to Smith, big swing in the cross court, some trouble and unable to get there. Taylor Smith loves that hard cross court shot, and she gets a kill with it there. We'll see more of that for sure, as she is their points leader on the season, and she's continuing to do great in this match. Well, that sets just off the net, powers it through the block, and a great dig from Smith. Set on the outside. Oh, that ball's tight. Feed the middle to Lauren Brown. Good up from her knees with the set. Free ball to the Mountain Lions, though. Pushes it outside. Gets the high hands and the kill. That's some good volleyball. There's a lot of back and forth there, obviously. A lot to digest, but ultimately keeping that quick speed to the outside and getting a high off the hands tool going long for the Mountain Lions. Smith still serving. Oh, huge block. Wow. Lauren Shockley showing some emotion after that big play. There's that emotion I was talking about. That's a big block. Block that straight down. Regis going to their bread and butter, that 31 play to the middle. And she just took the little off roll shot that time. That's number 15 again, Kristen Hornig. Ooh, tight pass. Great dig from Kinsey there. Over again. Emily Attell with a big swing, not quite going down. Shockley with a big swing, finding that Langle. Head coach from the Regis Rangers wanted a double call on that set. Don't think he's going to get it. Sub in for the Mountain Lions. Grace Nelson's now front row, and Lauren Shockley's back to serve. 2-point lead for the Mountain Lions. She didn't really seem to like the set there and just rolled it over. Nelson with the swing on the outside, easily received. Big high ball. Great dig by Kinsey. Forcing it into the middle. Just missed it. Rangers were ready for it anyways. They had that double block, but I love to see that set the middle and transition off the net, kind of keep the Rangers on their toes. They're, of course, like I said, ready for it, but you got to make them respect it, and it opens up your outsides and your right side hitters later on. So then they have to honor the middle. Big swing from Nelson, great block from the Rangers. That was kind of a ping pong block. First starting with number 16, Mara LaGrange, and then kind of hitting off Kennedy's hands in the middle there and going off a touch and out. Big point for Regis Rangers. Now they tie up the game. Good pass from Kinsey. Slide to Lauren Brown. She hits that one out that time. She seems to just get under, and the set wasn't as tight to net as she'd like, so Coach Chrissy Elder was trying to make this sub earlier. Successful now. So number 14 for the Mountain Lions, Julia Giger is in. Lauren Brown is out. Tough pass, slide right in, blocked by the Rangers, and then a dump from the setter, well covered from the libero. They're calling that out. The Rangers looking for a touch. She pushed it out of bounds, looking for hands, was unsuccessful. In for the Mountain Lions is now Raylan Edge. She's back to serve. And we have a tie game once again. Mountain Lions looking for a big point here. Big swing on the outside, great block. Good cover though. Burway again takes something off that one. Out to Nelson. She hits it high over the block and over the head of the jumper in for the deep corner kill. That's a great kill from her. So Grace Nelson is only 5'8". And she's going up against Kennedy, who's 6'4", and LeGrand, who's only 5'9", but so she has to really look for LeGrand there, right? So she has to hit that line shot, and that's exactly what she does on that kind of broken play. She got that great kill. And of course, as I'm talking, Mountain Lions get another point on that overpass. So a little bit of a run here for Raylan Edge serving. Oh, big swing, good touch from Edge, but just off the side of her arm. Number 10, Kelsey Green in for Regis. And number 13, Caitlin Burroway back to serve. Tough pass, really quick, out to Nelson. Big swing line again, great dig from Burroway. Green going for that deep corner, just missing it. She really seemed to slow down her approach and didn't look super comfortable with that swing. Maybe some misconnection with the setter there. Tough pass, pushing her way to the front, and she chucks it back. Kind of bobbled around by the Mountain Lions, and Nelson hits it into the net. I think she's trying to hit that one a little harder than she's used to from so far off the net, and just goes in the net. Kennedy is now back to serve. Justin Russell on that slide just hits that one into the net, so that's 2 hitting errors from the Mountain Lions right into the top of the tape. Mountain Lions are in this strange stack that we talked about on the last set, where they had started out with Grace Nelson on the far side of the court and they then moved her into the near side of the court. So they have her still try to force her right here, hitting this outside hit. Great cover from Shockley. A little back and forth at the net. Way off the net on that hut. And then in the middle of Josie Russell, she covers her own hit. Set it outside. Oh, big swing from the back, and it's out. Regis coach wanting a lift on one of those sets. I guess he really doesn't like the way Emily Attell's been setting, but refs seem to disagree. Allie Morgan now back to serve. 1 point lead for the Mountain Lions. It's a good serve. Tight pass. Ooh, that has to be a call one way, and that goes to the Rangers. They're saying the block reached over and interfered with that set as the ball was not coming across the plane. There's a judgment call by that up ref, but that's why he's standing there looking right down that net. So tie game. We have LeGrand back to serve. There's a conversation going on right now between the down ref and Coach Chrissy Elder of the Mountain Lions, just kind of clarifying that call. I don't think she agreed that the ball was not coming over the net. So chucked it back to Smith with a big cross court. Great digs on both sides. Shockley with a big cross court swing. Should be a free ball here. Forcing it into the middle, keeping them off balance. A lot of back and forth, good dig. Big swing from Shockley down the line. It's not enough to get the kill though. She swings to getting way more off speed. Oh, Burroway going for the set.
Okay, here we go. Big swing into the antenna. That's a big point for the Mountain Lions, and the crowd goes wild. That's a great rally from both sides. Awesome volleyball. That blind shot from Shockley was massive, and it was just dug. I don't even know by who. Let's see this rotation. Where are we? That was number 16, Mara LeGrand with that dig. What a rally. Mountain Lions just slowing down this after all that excitement. And there's that middle for Raylan Edge, which was previously occupied by Lauren Brown, but now we have Julie Geiger. Sorry, not used to some of these names. I apologize. The down ref just confirming with the scorekeeper here, just that they're in the right rotation after that sub. That we have the right person serving at this point. There's that 31. Kinsey with a great dig. Oh, touch up. Oh, that's not going to be enough. No easy points, though. I love it. Anytime Regis has the opportunity, I feel like they're just really going to force that middle 31 in serve receive. See if Mountain Lions adjust to that at all. Good pass from Kinsey out to Shockley. Good swing, powers it through the block. Nice dig from Morgan. Just a way off the net set here. Kind of a free ball for Regis. Running that middle attack. That's a good swing. Once again, that's number 15, Kristen Hornug. Point to the Rangers, and they now take the lead. She's playing great right now, just dominating up front with her attacks. Taylor Smith blocked there, well covered. Go right back to her, and she gets that seam. Good dig from LeGrand, and just goes through the block there into the deep corner there for Burroway. Another point for Regis Rangers, and that will be a timeout taken by UCCS. You can see the momentum shift there. 2-point lead by the Rangers, and Coach Elder wants nothing to do with that, calls timeout. Now you remember last set, her first timeout resulted in a service error from the Rangers, so maybe we can get that again and get another point to the coach. I think Regis here shown a lot of resilience in changing their lineup in this second set, and then still having some unforced errors really, but fighting through that and getting this 2-point lead. They're certainly adjusting to the quicker offense the Mountain Lions have been running. They're just kind of spacing out their blockers and going towards a more bunch read. It just allows their players to just kind of be in the zones where they know those quicker attacks will come from. Regis really relying on the middle hitter advantage here. I really think they feel they have a advantage with their middles and those matchups. And I think that's part of the reason why Coach Elder made the sub at that position. He's trying to change up the matchup, see if she and the team for the Mountain Lions could give them a different look. All right, so coming out of this timeout, once again, 2-point lead for Regis. The Mountain Lions are in a left stack. All 3 hitters, though. Quick 31. That ball came out spinning, so double is called. Now increases that lead to 3. Tough serve down the line, it's just out. Mountain Lions side out with an error. Sometimes the other team gives you a break. And Taylor Smith now back to serve. They got a little run last time. See if they can do it again in this rotation. Tight pass, tight. Free ball over and down. It looks like Reese's number 1, Rachel Surak, really wanted that one back. She felt like she was in a good position, should have made that dig. But point Mountain Lions. Good serve from Smith. Oh, they run a stack that time. And it's just out. Mountain Lions were ready for it. The blocker's not fooled. And we have a tie game again. Smith with 2 big points so far. feeding that middle again and just off that block. So lead back to Regis. And now number 12, Haley Kennedy, back to serve, the libero for the Rangers in this set. Big swing. Shockley really going after, attacking that line blocker, getting the tool and the kill down the line. She's really attacking this big block of the Rangers. Sometimes it can be intimidating, but she shows no fear. We're going for a short serve, and feasting is the middle Kennedy. Mountain Lions had a double block there, but it was not enough. Just hitting over the top and down, 10-foot strike. This set is coming into the nitty-gritty. Anytime we get to these 20-point ranges, this is where games are won and lost. I feel like these big points here. And that setter dumped well covered by Burroway for the Rangers. Coach Chrissy Elder coming up to our players and talking and trying to calm down. And it looks like she just wants to hold on to that second timeout right now, knowing Regis still has both of theirs. Good dig from Kennedy. Burroway just a set over. Diving dig from Smith. And they call another double. Coach Joel List got out of his chair. He was going to make that call for the ref. But that time he didn't have to. So, and Elder elects to go for the sub, which kind of sort of acts as a timeout, slows down the rhythm of this server. That's why we're taking this little longer delay here. Big swing from Kennedy. She could adjust there, and she was going to go away from body and turn it and crossed it. Got a big kill there. Mountain Lions desperately need this side out, so timeout it is. Rangers in a very commanding position in the second set, looking to even up this match at 1-1. Not really sure the adjustment that the Mountain Lions can make currently that they haven't already done in this second set. I think they're just going to take a moment and gather themselves and try to execute better. Service seems to be keeping them off the net and keeping them from running as quick of an offense as they like to in the last two, I'd say about 10 points. So we'll see if they can clean up that serve receive. I really do feel like this team is made and by that serve receive. And if they don't get it, it'll be an ugly game. But I think they'll bounce back right here after this timeout, calm, cool, and collected, and they'll side out right here and run that quick offense. So they're in this split offense with a setter in the middle of the court. If they can keep the pass in the middle of the court, she then becomes like a middle attacker, and she can set back to Lauren Brown or front to Grace Nelson. Let's see if they can keep that tempo here on a good pass. There's a good pass. Set to Nelson. Well blocked from LeGrand. Setting Kennedy. She just kind of tips it over. Back to the step out to Brown. Good block. Great cover. Diving dig from Kinsey. And another double. Coach Joel List from Regis out of his chair again. About to make that double call himself. So we have a set points here. Good serve. High ball to Nelson. Oh, great swing. Good dig, though. Way out. Burroway with a big swing. And that's it. That's the second set. So the second set goes to the Regis Rangers. Score 25-19. Great adjustments there from the coach. We'll see how the Mountain Lions respond here in the third set. I guess they could go, I don't know. Mountain Lions have a lot of different options that they could go to if they wanted to change it up. It's hard to predict, but it seems their focus has been on that quicker offense, and so I think the lineup they have in is designed for that, right? They have their outsides and their right sides who like those quicker tempo sets. That's what they're trying to go and stay away from that high ball offense. We're just getting some stats in here from the team. So we'll get some updates on, we'll go over set 2 alone. Nikki Kennedy had 5 kills for the Rangers in that second set. She hit 500, which is great. And Caitlin Burroway had 4 kills. And then Kristen Hornig, another 5 for the Rangers. So once again, those middles great for Regis, and we'll get into some replays here. Here's that's a 32 for Burroway. That's that great dig, and she had to step over her teammate. Knee to the head, does not feel good. This is volleyball, not football. There's that big swing from Hornug, and then that lefty swing into the angle. Force the overpass, double dig from Shockley. Love that play. You see it here again from a different angle. Quick back-to-back digs from her. And then that big line swing from Kennedy out. Here's a free ball play from the Mountain Lions, which resulted in that big swing from Shockley down the line. See, this is the part of their offense that they really need to click on the third set, is this connection to their outsides with Grace Nelson and Lauren Shockley swinging down the line and just attacking that part of the defense for the Rangers. There's that big swing out of bounds into the net, or the antenna there, from a different angle. And the high ball to Nelson again down the line. And it looks like the Regis Rangers are sticking with the lineup they had in set 2, not going back to what they had in set 3, because it worked so well for them. With those, each middle last set had 5 kills. And I think they're just going to really key on those matchups and be like, hey, we think our middles are better than your middles. So leading the game with 8 kills apiece are Nikki Kennedy and Kristen Hornig for the Rangers. Next is Grace Nelson with 7 kills. Mountain Lions definitely seem to be trying to adjust some of their serve receive to get Nelson in a better position. So see if they are able to do that and execute just a little better. Looks like they're keeping their lineup the way it was. Lauren Brown's still in the game. She subbed in and out a little bit that last set, so we'll see what happens with that if they keep her in there. Coach Eldridge just trying sometimes to get a sub in that will slow down the game and make the other team wait to serve or something like that. It's almost like a mini timeout. All right. See if this set will start off kind of where the second set left off. I love to see the teams split sets to start off the match. Usually if one team wins 2 in a row, kind of gets a little funky, and we don't get to see that. Hopefully we get to see another close set this time to start us off. Quick pass. And this might be a free ball coming over, just a roll shot. Kenzie with a dig, pushing it out to Shockley down the line. And there it is, that's that kill. That's the play that they're looking for. That's how they want their offense to work in this game. And that's how they started off. Great sign from the Mountain Lions. Jordan Kinsey is the first server for the Mountain Lions in this set. Could serve really tight. Ooh, great set, but stuffed by Lauren Brown. She was really patient on that. She didn't go and up and attack that overpass. She just kind of waited for it and sat on that 31. Great block from her. Mountain Lions out to an early 2-point lead. Great block. Taylor Smith, Lauren Brown. Well-formed, solid, big block there. Let's see if Kinsey serves her again, right at Burroway down the line here. Compounding errors. Nope, great pass. And a huge swing from Kennedy, just hitting that away. Regis going to that middle matchup that we talked so much about. Now serving for the Rangers, number 7, Sophie Greasy. She's just in the game. Shockley on the line there, just off the block. Right back into the middle. House that time. What a reaction from Shockley. Oh my. She's probably very excited about that one for the height differential alone between the two players. All over that one. Oh, tough pass. Oh, that's a great serve from Taylor Smith down that A. Definitely picking on Burroway in this rotation on right down that line with those floats to start this third set. Early 4-point lead for the Mountain Lions. And right back to her. Tough pass at the 10-foot line. Off-speed shot. Great touch from Kinsey there. Just not enough. No easy points. Number 10 now in the game for the Rangers, Kelsey Green. And number 13, Caitlin Burroway is back to serve. Good pass. Slide to Brown. Up by Burroway. Green with the push into the corner. Touched by Allie Moore, but she just can't get it up. It's a tough decision for the middle back in this current defense for the Mountain Lions. Taylor Smith was coming up to play the tip, so she was covering the short part of the court and left that deep spot open, which Green found. Called hands on that one. So another point for the Rangers on setting error. Coach Chrissy Elder doesn't really like the call. I kind of have to agree with her. It didn't come out spinning too much. It was a tight pass. Emily Attell was kind of leaning into the net to get to it, but came out pretty clean. I don't know. I'm a homer. Pushed out to Shockley. Good up from Burroway. Back out to Green. Good block. Lauren Brown just kind of pokes it back over, and then the setter dump from LeGrand down in the donut, the open spot. Kinsey has been on those in the last set, and that one's just a little better disguised, and she really has to respect the middles in this situation as well. So tougher defense, and the Rangers tie it up. Good pass back to Shockley off the block. Tight pass into the middle. Good block. Ooh. Like I said, I love it when the middle goes to set. But the execution so far, 2 times we've seen it tonight, has not been there. As a middle myself, we always think that we're setters. We always want to be there, but it's just not in the cards. Green with a big swing high off the block. She's just kind of taking like an 80% swing. She could definitely swing harder, but she's just kind of taking a little power off of it and going for that height and trying to hit that deep corner. And it's working really well so far in this set. Good pass from Shockley back to Brown. Well handled by the Rangers. High out to Green, and it looks like it hit the antenna. That seems to be the call. Off the antenna, point to the Mountain Lions. And Raylan Inch is subbed in, and it's back to serve. Big swing, good touch from Smith. Way back to Shockley. Just a roll shot there. Back inside to Green this time. They ran that 32 again. She just tips it over for another kill. It's working really well for her so far in this set. Mountain Lions haven't quite adjusted to it yet, so they've given up a few points from it already. Mara LeGrand back to serve for the Rangers in a tie game. And that one's just long. Point Mountain Lions. Taylor Smith just followed that one to the line, made sure it was out, and took the point happily. Emily Ettell back to serve. See if she can get a run going here. Ooh, just gets that one into the net. Might have jinxed her. Apologize, Emily. Number 5 for the Rangers is in now. Hannah Kennedy. This rotation's been working for them the last couple sets, so. Just off. Ooh. Little miscommunication there from Mountain Lions. Ball's hit long and out. A couple of Regis Rangers want a touch on that call, but not going to happen. Allie Morgan just subbed in. She's back to serve. Hopefully she can hit a couple big serves here and expend this lead. These are the big points. When the team's serving, I call these big points because it separates you. It's just that old school volleyball when you hit the side out scoring system. Oh, big swing from the right side. The big lefty, Rachel Zurich. She hit that hard cross and it hit it down. It was in front of the defender. Oh, and that serve into the backhand of Kennedy at the net. It didn't even make it to the net. Well, it would have if the hand wasn't there, but. So some service errors back to back here, or I guess a little spaced apart, but. Kinsey with a good serve, keeping him off the net. UCCS is saying no touch, so points would go to the Mountain Lions if it didn't, but the up ref signaled point to Regis, but I don't know. He seemed to almost second guess himself right away and be like, hold on a second, coach, my time, let me confer with my down ref. So that's what they're gonna do. And he now reverses his call, points to the Mountain Lions. All right, so here we go. Little 2-point lead here for the Mountain Lions. Kinsey back to serve. Regis, of course, saying, hey, what's going on with that call? You changed your call. So, of course, he's going to ask that question. We'll see. It looks like he was about to grab the green card, but elects not to. And, of course, a big kill out of the middle. That's a good pass from Burroway. And they just run that in system, and Kennedy with that shot away from her body into that hard angle with the kill. Greasy back to serve for the Rangers. Mountain Lions run a 31 of their own, just tip over. Big set outside, roll shot. Everybody kind of looking at each other on Mountain Lions saying like, please get that. So points to the Rangers, little miscommunication. It's still early in the season. You'll kind of see that happen a little more and figure out whose ball should be whose. Tight back set to Smith. She just gets it through the block. And there's that tip that Burroway now trying to do what Green's been getting so many kills on. And Lauren Shockley got a kill off that. That's a really tough swing. That's a big high ball set from way out of bounds, essentially, to about the 10-foot line. It's not even close to the net. She took a big swing and powered it through the block for a kill. That was pretty spectacular. Smith with a serve down the line. They feed it into the middle, and Kennedy that time taking a little power off of it as the Mountain Lions jump into that cross away from. Kennedy's been hitting that ball away from her body. She hit it across her body that time. Taking a little speed off it, though, to get that down and in. Mountain Lions electing for a back row attack that time because the pass wasn't quite where they wanted it. So Morgan just hit that one out. Lead back to the Rangers, and back and forth we go, and back and forth we go. Great pass from Kenzie on that. And very quick tempo there, and Shockley just pushes it into the block. And because of the quick tempo, they're not really quite well formed and pressed over the net yet, so that water falls down on their side of the net for a point for the Mountain Lions. Good touch on the block, diving dig, and slammed down by Kennedy on the overpass from that dig. It's a good touch from Shockley, just a little too much. So Kennedy's back to serve. Mountain Lions in their front row setter split offense. Kenzie with a great pass, and we get the dump right off the head of middle blocker, number 15, Kristen Hornung. She's getting a little laugh out of that one. You don't see that every day. She kind of turned her head and was like, oh, this must have gone past me and someone's digging it, but nope, right off the tape and onto her head. Raylan Edge in the game and back to serve. Good dig from Edge. Kind of a 2-ball in the middle for Russell. Just tips it over. Diving dig from the libero. That's some sloppy volleyball back and forth on both sides of the net, but eventually the point goes to the Mountain Lions. Regis definitely trying to force this 31 to Hornung and see if they can do it again. Nope, don't even get a chance. Edge into the net. She really went for her serve on that one, trying to get that down the line. Mountain Lions definitely tacking that down the line serve that they want. The server is kind of on the near side of the court and just looking to hit a flat float down the line. Nelson with a good swing, decent cover. Is free ball coming. Emily Attell really wanted to take she heard me say free ball and she was like, this is not going to be a free ball. I'm going to crush this. Fortunately, she hit it into the bottom of the tape. Point Regis. LeGrand to serve. Slide to Russell. She finds the seam. Good dig, though, from LeGrand. Just a roll over. Kinsey with the dig. Nelson with a big swing down the line. Oh, great up from Burroway. So first, great up from LeGrand, and then the diving one-handed stab from Burroway. Just unfortunately hit it to where her team wasn't. So point to the Mountain Lions.
Number 6,
Emily Attell, serve. She took a little off that serve, and they got a perfect pass, and they go right to the middle. Good dig from Shockley. Out to Nelson, tight, and she gets it right off the top of the block. Mountain Lions really flirting with this offense. Really quick, really tight sets. Nelson able to just kind of smack it down off the hands of that block. Much better serve that time. Keeping him way off the net. Kinsey with the dig. Back to Smith. Ooh, good block. Kinsey, big high set to Nelson. She just gets it over. Oh, overpass. Russell with the big swing. Wasn't sure which one of them was going to jump that time. It was right between Grace Nelson and Josie Russell. And Josie Russell took it and got the kill. So a good few points here for Emily Attell serving. Pushes that lead to 2 for the Mountain Lions. She's going for a short serve that time. Big swing into the cross, and Emily Attell just not able to handle it. On the Rangers side out. So number 5 for them, Hannah Kennedy, coming in, and she'll be back to serve. Mountain Lions in this kind of unorthodox stack that they run. Just try to get this hut ball out to Nelson. But they run slide to Russell. She just tips it over. Burroway with the swing cross court. Shockley with the dig out to Nelson. Oh, off the block, she gets her own dig. Oh, good set back. Taylor Smith takes a rip at it. Swing again. Oh, nice. Kind of reset the play. Tip, tip, tip. Shockley with the pancake. Little miscommunication there from the Rangers. Here's essentially a free ball. Smith backside, she doesn't like that. She kind of takes a step out approach and gets the kill off the block. Favorable bounce off the hands of that middle blocker Hornung for the Rangers. And the crowd reacts. They love those rallies, and then, of course, they love it even more when the Mountain Lions get the point off them. So Allie Morgan just subbed in and is back to serve. And a timeout from the Rangers, trying to slow down the momentum here that the Mountain Lions have gained. So we're coming down to it. Crunch time. We're almost at that 20-point mark. And for the first time in this match, Regis has taken a timeout before the Mountain Lions have. So definitely don't like their the momentum of the Mountain Lions. Mountain Lions, generally speaking, I would say not so much tonight, are a streaky team, very emotional team. They kind of play up and down. Tonight, they've been a lot more consistent than usual and a lot less, I would say, emotional, really. They've just kind of kept themselves in check and come into this game really calm and collected. Regis, I'm really interested to see the adjustments they might have out of this timeout. Maybe they'll go to some lineup changes from the first set. But out of the timeout, looks like they will not sub anyone in right now. See what play they come out with. It looks like they have their stack right with their right side and their middle hitter. And then that keeps Burroway, their outside hitter, alone on an island almost. So I would assume an in-tempo, quick set from the Rangers to their outside hitter if they can get it. Space out that block of the Mountain Lions. Big serve here from Morgan. Overpass. Shockley just dumps it down for a point for the Mountain Lions. That's a great serve from Allie Morgan and Lauren Shockley cleaning up the mess. Just sweep it away. 3-point lead now late in the third set for the Mountain Lions. Oh, another good serve. Outside to Burroway. Big swing off the block. Handled by Morgan. Shockley with the swing just off the block. Ooh, really tight. And a point for the Rangers. And Kennedy now back front row for the Rangers. And Haley Kennedy now back to serve. Russell gets the paintbrush. Great dig from LeGrand. And fought at the net and just on the side of the Mountain Lions. And a timeout for the Mountain Lions. Couple points in a row for Regis, so Coach Elder taking the timeout. Okay, we'll see a couple of replays here during this timeout. There's that sweep from Shockley on that overpass. And then Shockley down that line, kind of langle as we call it. There's that ace serve. Great effort from LeGrand though. And the setter dump from her as well, right into the middle of the court. There's that big kill from Rachel Surik on the right side, that lefty angle swing. Better angle on that play. Here's this high ball swing that gets a kill. A little more in tempo. Play from Shockley. And then, of course, the dump off the head of the middle blocker. Love that play. Let's put that one on Twitter, everybody. Whoever is in charge of that, someone do that. All right. So we're just coming out of this timeout, and Haley Kennedy is serving. And she serves long. Point to Coach Elder. Getting that point for her team with that great timeout. Lauren Brown subs in, goes back front row for the Mountain Lions. And Jordan Kinsey's back to serve. High off the block, great diving dig by Morgan. She's a high ball to Shockley, gets it off the hands. They're gonna run this middle here. And Kennedy gets the kill. That's hard to stop. And Lauren Brown looks over to coach and she's like, should I take that angle away more? What should I do? It's not much you can do. It's just a tough situation. And Mountain Lions catch a break with the serve in the net. All these points in this crunch time are big points. Anything after the 20-minute mark, so that's a big point on that service error. Smith to serve. Right down the line at Burroway, she gets a pass off the net. Big swing from her, big block. Rangers somehow got it up, but not enough to get it over. That's a huge point for the Mountain Lions, and that's a huge block. That's Lauren Brown and Emily Attell on that right side. Well formed on that high ball that the Rangers were forced to use because of that great serve from Smith. Into the middle, hard angle. Works like a charm. So hard to stop right now is Nikki Kennedy for the Regis Rangers. Got a close game here in the third set. It's getting tense. A lot of talking from both sides, just communicating with each other. They know the moment that this game is. Oh, pancake. Morgan pushes it up. Oh, Shockley pushes it deep. Couple of good touches there, but point Mountain Lions. That was a very smart decision from Shockley. That set was in tempo, but coming all the way across the court, though. They had an opportunity to get that well-formed block, and she just tips it over, just like we've been seeing the Rangers do against the Mountain Lions. She kind of takes a play from their book here and then uses it against them. This is set point. And they go to the middle, and it's a low set. They misconnect. And Mountain Lions take the third set to go up 2-1 now in this match. Just kind of shocked that Regis didn't call in one of their other timeouts there just to try it, see if they could get something out of it, just like the Mountain Lions got that error. But they elected to just kind of roll with it. We'll see if they change their lineup going into this fourth set, potentially deciding set. I don't know. A lot of it just comes down to execution. I know I talk a lot about these matchups, but a lot of it just comes down to execution and who you think is executing better two nights on your team. And maybe that's what they think. That's why they stuck with those players for the two sets. Regis definitely having a conversation between their four coaches right next to me about just that, as we get some stats in here for you from the third set. So leading the way in that set for the Mountain Lions with 4 kills was Lauren Shockley, just in the third set alone. We're just talking about that set alone. She had 4 kills in the third set. Some big time plays. She also had a blocking assist in that set. But really, Lauren Brown had 4 blocking assists and 1 block solo in that set alone. I think that really was the difference, because we talk about that middle matchup that the Regis Rangers used to their advantage in the second set. And this time, Lauren Brown is like, Coach, you are not going to sub me out of this game. I'm going to show you why you have me in here, and that's for my blocking. On the other side of the ball, Nikki Kennedy with another 5 kills in that set. She was only hitting at an efficiency of 200 this time, though. Last set, she was hitting at 500, so the second set, they set her the ball a lot. 10 sets, especially for a middle, that's a lot, but a lot less efficient this time. Let's see the serving. I don't... It looks like Emily Attell had 4 service aces. I don't think that's right. But I think she's their best setter because she had the most attempts on the team. Oh, it says 4 attempts and 1 error. I was reading it wrong. The 1 ace was from Taylor Smith in that game. So if we look at some team totals, the hitting percentage for the Regis Rangers that last game was at 100, and the Mountain Lions was at 139. It just kind of shows you the rallies that we're having back and forth when the hitting percentage is not nearly as high as it was from the first 2 games for either team. So I'm honestly hoping for more of that volleyball. When we get those long rallies, that's where volleyball is fun. And we see the crowd react to that as well, right? The crowd, that last set, when we get those long rallies and those points, of course, won by the Mountain Lions, kind of go crazy. Regis bench looking loose. Mountain Lions bench looking loose. I think they both feel pretty confident about where they are in this set. I think it's going to be really interesting to see, because both coaches are sticking with their lineups, as we can see the players on the court. Both coaches saying, hey, these are the players we have our faith in to execute what we want. So we're not going to see any huge adjustments to start this fourth set. We're just going to kind of let him play, it sounds like. Or it seems like. Allie Morgan starting out to serve for the Mountain Lions. Good serve, great pass from Burroway. And miscommunication between the setter in the middle there. She whiffed on the swing, but doesn't matter. Up ref calls, hands. Morgan to serve again. This is usually a tough serve. Burroway has been getting the brunt of it. She's been passing it pretty well. Take by Attell. High ball to the outside. Shockley over the shoulder. Looking for that deep corner. Unable to find it. Point to the Rangers. Number 7, Sophie Greasy, is now in the game and serving for the Rangers. Tight pass. Good one-handed set. Poked over by Russell. Russell gets the overpass off the dig and puts it down for a kill. Great play at the net there from Russell. A lot of back and forth. She's now in the back row, so Jordan Kinsey's in for her. Lauren Brown's now in the front row. And Kinsey is to serve. Into the middle, of course. Big, huge block from Lauren Brown. And Nikki Kennedy says to her setter, "That's on me, that's on me." She's like, I'll adjust. If you're a Regis Rangers fan, you love to see that out of your middle hitter, that kind of talk with the setter. McKenzie bails out the Rangers with a serve into the net. Kelsey Green back in the game for the Ranger. And Caitlin Burway back to serve. Kinsey, great pass with her hands to Lauren Brown. Over, good dig by Burroway. Back to Kennedy. She just pushes it off the block. Back set, big swing from Smith. Off the block. Set to her again. And she gets housed that time. She took 2 big swings just trying to force it through the seam. Was unsuccessful. That's a big block to try to do that through. Taylor Smith just kind of smiles and is like, yeah, I was going for it. High ball outside. Swing cross court. Oh, ref's call on a net. He's calling it on number 16, Mara LeGrand. So points to the Mountain Lions, Taylor Smith. Good pass, right to the Kennedy. Good dig by Kinsey down the line. Just a roll shot over. Outside of Green, she pushes it line again. Ooh, a little more in tempo there from Kenzie on that outside set. And down goes for the big swing against the big metal. She was like, this is my ball. I want to swing sometimes. And she gets the kill. She really turned that away from her body. Almost doing like a 180 into the swing. She got a kill. So they're all smiles. Lauren Brown kind of looked at her like, I thought you were going to set me. Tight pass. It's a good dump, just out of bounds. That pass was really tight, so the setter didn't really have a lot that she could do with it. So she just elects to kind of dump it over and just out of bounds. Tight pass again. Good set to the outside. The down ref is calling a net with her back on the net. The setter there, that is. Mara LeGrand. Taylor Smith's been serving strong and just that one goes into the net. Sometimes you just got to go for it. So Nikki Kennedy back to serve for the Rangers. Try to chop into this 3-point lead of the Mountain Lions. And she serves it into the net. It bounces around and points to the Mountain Lions. It's a tough break as a server, seeing that just kind of bounce around there. Grace Nelson just subbed in for the front row, and Lauren Shockley is back to serve. Quick pass to the outside. Green takes a big swing line that time. She's been electing for that kind of like push tip to the deep corner. They brought her inside more on a 32 that time, and she just tried to take a big rip on the line. Unsuccessful, just out. Another point for the Mountain Lions. Slide, big swing in the seam. That's Hornung with the kill. It looks like Coach Joel List of the Rangers got up and he was about to call a timeout before that serve, and then he was just kind of debating and didn't go for it. Wise of him not to, as they sided out there, and that's what he was looking for. Outside of Nelson, just over the top of the block. Good dig, tight pass though. Up by Kenzie. Ooh, and another double from Emily Attell. That one came out spinning sideways, so you're going to see that call. And Regis chomps into that lead a little bit. That's a big point for them. It's just that side-out scoring type of point. You get a point as you're serving. Ooh, just a little dump, and the middle blocker reaches in front of the libero. You hate to see that in volleyball, but when it goes your way, you don't really complain too much about it. Raylan Edge now in for the Mountain Lions, and back to serve, and a timeout for the Regis Rangers. Coach Joel List was standing there waiting for that timeout, waiting for the next server, it seemed like, for the Mountain Lions. So, I would really expect to see some changes from the Rangers coming out of this timeout. Maybe not lineup changes, but just kind of maybe some different plays. Kind of like that 32 that they ran to Kelsey Green on that last play where she hit the ball out of bounds down the line, but just kind of more plays like that where they're a little less standard, not always your like slide hut or your, for them, they're 31-5 and things like that. So they're staying with that lineup, really quick timeout. Coach just comes in and says like, hey, you guys got this? And he sends them right back out. Mountain Lions, of course, feeling good about how they started this set. So you can see the positive attitudes on the bench still, a lot of smiles still. And Raylan Edge is still serving, trying to extend that 4-point lead.
Serving out of the timeout for the Mountain Lions, number 10, Raylan Edge.
Good pass from Burroway. Slide to Hornung. She crushes it line. Big dig from Smith, and they get the ball over. They set it right back to her in the middle. She set back at Smith, and she can't handle that one. Two great swings from Hornung from Regis Rangers that time. Now number 5 in the game for the Rangers, Hannah Kennedy, is back to serve. Ooh, it's just a shank pass, a little miscommunication there as well between Smith and Shockley, just outside of her arm. You can see Smith just being like, that's my mistake. Good pass from her this time. Burrow with the big swing, powers it through the block, and the Rangers are rallying here now. Bringing them within just 1 point now. Good pass from Shockley. Emily Attell kind of goes for the jump spin set. And hands are called, but up ref tying the ball game up, and UCCS now takes their first time out of this 4th set. And Coach Chrissy Elder, you can see there on the bottom of the screen talking to her setter, being like, hey, I get that you're frustrated, but this is what we're working with. You can see. Yeah, replays. There's that one-handed set from Emily Tell that Josie Russell gets the tip and then the put back. Kelsey Green going for that deep line shot. Smith playing a little further back that time to get the dig, and then the tool off the block from Shockley, and Emily Attell with that big swing. Going for that turn. You see the shoulder shrug afterwards. Be like, yeah, you know, you do that sometimes. And there's that setter dump from her. It gets another kill. Here's that big slide swing down the line that's up by Smith, but they just got over, and then they go right back to her on the front one. Great communication between the setter and the middle there.
Serving out of the timeout for the Rangers, number 5, Hannah.
All right, so out of this timeout, Hannah Kennedy is still serving for the Rangers. She brought her team back, and it's now a tie game. See how the Mountain Lions respond. We're going back row to Shockley. Shanked. Oh, we're going for a free ball here for the Mountain Lions. Slide to Russell. She just smacks it over. Big high set, big swing from Burway. Handled by Shockley. Dump from the setter. Well covered by the libero. She's all over that one. Big lefty swing into the cross and gets the kill. That's Rachel Serp for the Rangers. Another big point for the Rangers. They've been on quite the run here. Mountain Lions kind of just desperate to get a side out. Big swing from Nelson, and she gets the kill. The middle back, Kennedy was coming over for the Rangers. LeGrand kind of just touched it and unable to get the dig. Emily Etzel now back to serve. There's that standing hard float. Cirque in the cross, Etzel all over it. Smith with off the net just kind of rolls it on that one. Big high set to the outside. Burrow takes a rip. Kinsey gets a touch. Great up by Smith, and Shockley's unable to put it over. It's a big swing from the outside. Burrow away for the Rangers. And they take that 1 point lead back. And a shank pass again there from Smith. Haley Kennedy, the libero, is opting for this jump float, and she's also a left-handed hitter, so just a little different there. And Coach Elder subs out Lauren Shockley and puts in Hannah Ammerman. This is the first time she's been in the match tonight. She's middle back. She's likely to take this serve. And she does, and a good pass. Sets the slide, great swing. Josie Russell finds the seam in between the block and goes down for the kill. Callie Morgan is now in the game, and she's back to serve. She's been able to get the team some points in this rotation. Ooh, big swing from Kennedy on that slide. The Rangers did something interesting there. They brought their right side in front of the setter, front two, which left the blockers kind of assuming that ball's going to go in front of the setter, but then they ran the middle, who's usually in that situation, also going to go into the front side of the setter and put her on the slide. Mountain Lions still had a double block on there, but it still left that huge angle for Kennedy to hit, and she's been hitting so well tonight. So they've been really keying on her, following her wherever she goes, unable to stop her there. Little stoppage here as the sub gets written down in the scorebook, and Greasy to serve for the Rangers. And she serves just long. Maybe that little stoppage from the down ref was enough to get the Mountain Lions a point. Lauren Brown now back front row and in the game, and Jordan Kinsey back to serve, trying to get this lead back. Slides Kennedy, big swing line, just too much there again. She's been playing great tonight. Now Kelsey Green back in the game, front row for the Rangers. Mountain Lions run that 31, just push it over, and then they get a high ball for Green, who's kind of like having to turn around to get an approach. Smith with the big swing on the right side, just off the block. Oh, huge back set on the slide in transition. That's a great play from the Rangers. You like to see the setter and middle kind of go for those plays. That's a tough play to run in that situation, and they ran it well and got a kill. Keeping the Mountain Lion defense on its toes with offense like that. Shockley with a hard angle swing and just out. She took a big rip, though. I like to see her stay aggressive. That's kind of her MO and has been for this whole match and has been for the games I've seen her play front row. Unfortunately, Coach Elders subs her out, so we won't get to see that. Instead, we'll get to see Hannah Ammerman on the outside. In this rotation, they usually just have two passers. Hannah Ammerman is usually a great passer, so they should probably swing her out. They set it back to Smith, and she just kind of spatches it. I don't know if her hand hit that ball, if her wrist did, but that ball went well out of bounds. Mountain Lions in this stack really need a side out. Rangers rolling right now. And they catch a break. Burroway serves that one just out. So, number 12, Taylor Smith back to serve. Hopefully she can rally here and get a few points for the team in this rotation. That's Green on that inside play. Again, they're running that kind of like 32 ball. She just kind of rolls it over into the empty spot of the court. Kill for the Rangers, kill for Green. Nikki Kennedy back to serve now. And a commanding 5-point lead for the Regis Rangers in this fourth set. Slide to Brown, just kind of cuts it over, just over, and Hannah Ammerman taps it down. Ref calls her over the net, though. And a timeout for UCCS. So Mountain Lions in trouble here in the fourth set, up 2-1 though. So if the Rangers win, it will force a Game 5, fifth deciding set. And that looks rather likely now. Up big, already at 20 points. They just need 5 points to win the game. And Mountain Lions need 11, so in a tough position for the Mountain Lions. Coach Elder will probably just elect to use this last time out. She's using it really early. She's kind of collect her team and say, hey, we're here for a reason. We made some mistakes. And we'll play this out best we can. And if not, we still got a fifth deciding game. In my mind, that fifth match for volleyball is kind of a crapshoot. Anything can happen. You might get on a good service streak, or you might get a block that you don't normally get, and that's going to decide a Game 5. So anything can really happen in those. And as a team, you don't really want sometimes to force those because of the kind of crapshoot of the situation that it's in. Kennedy's still serving for the Rangers, up 6 in this fourth set. Tough pass from Morgan, high ball to Ammerman. She takes a hard angle swing. Line judge calls that ball in. Hannah Ammerman with a kill. Little decision there. Coach Joel List thinking about a challenge, maybe? He looks at his other coaches and should I challenge it? And he's like, he decides not to. Ammerman back to serve. She has a good high float serve. Good tough serve. Takes him out of system here. Green with the swing just off the block. Gets the tool. And the side out for the Rangers. Just putting them 1 point closer to that fifth set. Mara LeGrand back to serve now. Out to Nelson, big swing on the line, she gets a kill. She's been quiet in this fourth set, but there's a kill right there down the line. It's that play they've been looking for. Raylan Edge in the game, back to serve. Mountain Lions looking to rally here. Regis running a 2-ball to the right side there. Ooh, great turn from Nelson down the line. Her body was really facing the other way, and she cuts that ball back, swinging her arm across her body hard, cutting that ball line. Very deceiving as a blocker to kind of judge where she's going to go with that. Gets a kill there. A good play from her. Ooh, tough, maybe an overpass. Oh, great set from LeGrand. And not able to handle it as Ammerman. That was just pushed out of her reach. Point Rangers, there's one more point closer to forcing that 5th set. Coach Elder asking about that set. She feels like, so many hands calls, so many doubles have been called on the UCCS setter tonight, and that one hand stab that kind of spins out for Legrand, they let that go. I think she just wants it called both ways. Moving along, Hannah Kennedy back to serve for Regis. They need 3 more points. Good pass from Smith, setting Nelson again. And the up ref calls a double on Legrand. Seems like a makeup call to me. It's a 4-point game. Emily Attell back to serve. And tooled off the block and out of bounds. Point to the Rangers. Now Haley Kennedy to serve the libero for the Regis Rangers. Good pass from Kenzie. Slide to Russell, just off the block. High ball now. Good block and good cover. Oh, nice set back. Just a roll shot though. Way off the net. Nelson in a tough position. Rips one and gets a kill. Kenzie electing to hand set that one from way back in the court. Gets it up about to the 10-foot line for Nelson, hitting that ball over her shoulder and hits that hard angle and gets a kill somehow. Great swing. Allie Morgan now in the game for the Mountain Lions. Back to serve. Good pass. Back. And net call on the Mountain Lions. So now we're looking at set point for the Rangers. And Coach Elder subs Lauren Shockley back in front row as Greasy is back to serve for the Rangers. Just a quick delay here accounting for that sub. And Greasy serves that one long. I feel like that's the second time that's happened tonight, where they kind of took their time on a sub, and she serves the ball long, points to the Mountain Lions. Kenzie back to serve. Big swing from Burway off the block and points to the Rangers. That will decide this 4th set. We will get a 5th set. So Mountain Lions going to switch sides, but really we'll just have captains meet here real quick for a coin toss to see who gets what side to start off with and who gets to serve to start off with. So you see Mara LeGrand here and Taylor Smith meeting here in the middle. Coin toss from the down ref. This is what we wanted, right? We wanted 5 games. We wanted to be here and watch good volleyball, and that's what we got. So side and serve has been decided. And we'll probably get into this here pretty quickly. Quick reminder for those unfamiliar, halfway through this 5th set, we will switch sides. You'll see the entire benches from both teams switch and get up and change seats like musical chairs. And the teams, of course, will switch sides on the court as well. We'll see what happens. A little recap from set 4. Once again, these stats are for just set 4, not for the match as a total. Leading the way for the Regis Rangers, they had 4 hitters with 3 kills. Rachel Surek, Nikki Kennedy, Caitlin Burway, and Kristen Hornug each had 3 kills. In that set, their hitting percentage was .379, which if you remember last set, they were hitting 100. So big difference from them on their attack. Get into these replays here, and there's that big swing for Burway, cross court on this high ball. Kind of just tags Kinsey, and the Mountain Lions are unable to handle it. This is that inside from Green. She just kind of takes a little bit off and into the middle of the court. That's that big angle swing from Ammerman that they claim caught the line. And then Nelson with a couple the in-tempo swings on the outside. And that one over her shoulder. She gets just under the arm of Nikki Kennedy there in the middle. That's a great angle for that shot. It's such a hard swing from that angle as an outside hitter. Love that play. Mountain Lions coming out of their little huddle fired up for game 5. Band's playing. We got fraternity being loud in the stands. Though most of the crowd seems to have gone out. I'm sure there's a party somewhere that they're headed to. Missing some great volleyball though, guys. I hope maybe you tuned in for your web stream at that house. Show up tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Humble plug. Both teams sticking with their lineups, of course. They got them this far. You know, it looks like the Mountain Lions may have switched up their matchup. Keep Lauren Brown on Kennedy. So we have those two middles going to battle in those last couple sets. They're doing well. Lauren Brown with that big block last game, but just not enough as the momentum really shifted for Regis. And it was hard to recover after that. These 5th deciding sets can be decided by such small plays. When I was talking earlier about we were in crunch time, many of those points over 20 were big points. That's more or less the whole match for the 3rd set. Or the 5th set, sorry. 5th deciding set. So, once again, just playing a 15. We're going to probably see both coaches use all their timeouts and all their challenges. It might take a little longer, but every point is a big point at this point. And Haley Kennedy start us off, serving for the Rangers. Good pass from Smith, out to Nelson. Big swing down the line, and that's in. Big kill to start us off in this 5th game. And Raylan Edge will be the first server for the Mountain Lions in this rotation. Set back. We should turn to line. Good touch from Smith, just not able to get under it quite enough. I know, in for the Rangers, number 7. Out to Nelson again, just over the block and down and in. Nelson with 2 big kills to start off this set. And Emily Attell back to serve. Tight pass, back to Kennedy, off the block. Good dig from Kenzie to Russell in the middle. Another good dig. Burway with a big swing angle and down and in. Another big point, this time for the Rangers. You see number 10, Kelsey Green sub in for the Rangers, which of course means Caitlin Burway is back to serve for them. High ball outside. Nelson just tips it over. We're gonna get a free ball out of it. Back to Taylor Smith, and she finds the deep corner. That is a hard spot of the court to defend. The far angle from either the outside or the right side. It's just kind of a weak spot in any defense in volleyball, and she finds that spot. It's also hard for the hitter to consistently hit it, so. Allie Morgan, anyways, back in to serve with her lefty topspin. It's kind of a curving topspin. She goes long this time, down the line. Kennedy just tips it. Attell with the dig. Smith pushes it deep. Good dig by libero Kennedy. Green pushes it deep. Back and forth we go. Attell out to Shockley. She's off the net, and she rolls it into the net. That set was just a little further away from where she wanted it to be. Had to adjust to it quickly and was unable to. So back and forth we go in this 5th and deciding set. I think we're in for some exciting plays. And as I say that, we get a service out of bounds from Nikki Kennedy. Lauren Brown, front row now, and Jordan Kinsey back to serve. Inside to Green, she takes a big swing up by Morgan. Attell out to Shockley. She takes a big rip overpass on that. Brown just slams it down, and Hornung was in the net as well. Not that it mattered. That overpass was well handled by Lauren Brown. It was an overpass that was coming across the net a little more than usual. It's not as tight, so she had to play it a little differently. Still gets the kill. Slide to Hornung. Tips it over. Kinsey is there waiting for it. Right side to Smith, takes a big swing. Greasy with an up. Burroway with a great hustle play. LeGrand just pushing over. Inside to Shockley, she takes a big swing, but gets blocked. That's a huge solo block from Mara LeGrand for the Rangers. They really scrapped, the Rangers did, on that to get that ball over and find a way to get a point. Coach Elder now making a sub, putting Ammerman in for Lauren Shockley. Taking their time here on this substitution, sort of kind of like calling a timeout and icing the server. Morgan with the overpass. And a point to the Rangers. It ties us up at 5, and a timeout is taken by the UCCS Mountain Lions. So a lot of back and forth. Mountain Lions looked like they were about to go up a couple, but then they quickly go right back down. So a timeout for the Mountain Lions. Momentum's so huge in these short sets. So just trying to really stave those off and keep your team level and even. Really, this is a coaching duel almost with how you use your timeouts and your challenges and your subs. And Coach Elder trying to use that sub almost like a timeout, but not getting points, so then she calls the timeout. She's really trying to hold on to her timeout and not call the first timeout. So she wants the Regis Rangers to call that first timeout. But when you get that momentum swing, not much you can do. You just got to go for it and hope you can get it. Coach Elder has 2 points tonight on her timeouts. Hopefully she get a third out of this one. Not changing up their offense out of the timeout, still going with that left stack with the middle on the outside and their right side pushed to the far end of the court. So should get a similar play call out of the timeout. Quick pass and the hands call again. Attell, that pass was really quick and really low, and Emily Attell just didn't really get under it. She kind of took it almost at chest level, tried to force up that 2-ball, and it comes out as a double. Set outside, Ammerman reaches high and tips off just rolls off the block. That's a good high swing, and they get a lucky bounce, fortunate bounce off the top. Taylor Smith now back to serve. Good pass from Burroway back to Hornig on the slide and tooled off the block there. Hornig and LeGrand have really just been in sync this whole game, and they just run that slide beautifully and just get the block of the Mountain Lions a little bit out of system there, and they're drifting on that block, which gives that easy tool on that line swing. Good pass from Kenzie on that tight line swing. Inside set, high inside set. Ammerman gets blocked there. Good double block from Crystal Hornung and Rachel Surik. So we're now at the 8-point midway. And so the teams will switch sides here. As you see, we'll change the entire bench. Both teams not really making eye contact, you know. It's a little awkward situation. You're like, oh, we're in a competitive environment here. We should not say hi. Just walk on by. Got some baggage to take with us and coffee mugs. And there was a sub during that. Hannah Ammerman and Lauren Shockley subbing once again. So you're seeing right there that left stack with Emily Attell front row, Lauren Brown and Lauren Shockley. Good pass. Slide to Brown. She gets blocked. Up and then outside to Shockley. And she takes a roll shot again. into the net. She usually, like I said, likes to play really aggressive, and she was not aggressive there on that swing. Gets a unforced error. Coach Elder taking her other timeout. It's a 3-point lead. In a match to 15, a 3-point lead can be pretty significant. So trying to stop the bleeding before it gets out of hand. And like I was saying earlier, that chess match between coaches. 2 timeouts for the Rangers, none for the Mountain Lions now. Here's a couple of replays. There's that line shot from Grace Nelson, and then back to that shot over the top of the block for those 2 quick kills early on. Great adjustment from her on both swings. And there was that big swing from Burroway on the outside, falling just in front of the defense. And then Lauren Brown on that overpass, tipping it down. Gotta love the roll and the hair flip from Morgan. Ammerman with that high swing off the block for the kill. And we're gonna have another sub here from that timeout. Coach Elder switching setters and middles. Raylan Edge in for Emily Etzel, and number 14 in again, Julie Gager at middle for Lauren Brown. Raylan Edge set for the Mountain Lions all last year. And Chrissy Elder's like adjusting their serve receive as this happens. Good pass from Morgan. Slide off the block and down, and it works. The big switch. Not setting a single ball all night. Raylan Edge coming in and making the play here. And as you saw there in front of your screen, Grace Nelson is now front row. Mountain Lions continue to roll with Raylan Edge as setter. Burroway off the hands of the block there and got a points. So still that 3-point lead for the Rangers, who are in a great position in this 5th deciding set. Mountain Lions really need to side out here. Nelson with a big line swing, somehow up by LeGrand. No idea how she got that dig. Dig by Kinsey. Out to Nelson, is really inside. She just elects to tip it. Out of system here for the Rangers. High ball and out. Mountain Lions get the points there. Way to scrap and just fight for that point and keep the Rangers kind of out of system. So the Mountain Lions, because of electing to have Raylan Edge set, and because they had Lauren Brown, they now have 2 middle blockers in the front row right now, Josie Russell and Julia Gager. So Gager's playing right side and Russell playing middle. Raylan Edge feeding the middle. Free ball coming now. She runs the 31 to Josie Russell, gets the point and the kill. A little spark from the Mountain Lions here for a couple of points. And a timeout, the first of the 5th set taken by the Regis Rangers. So the Mountain Lions really going for it here, completely switching up their offense in the 5th set, going with a new setter and a new middle, but Raylan Edge had been subbing in for their middle previously. So Raylan Edge is actually in a middle hitter part of the rotation. So they had to then elect to sub their other middle, their backup middle, in for their setter position. So that's why now they have 2 middles in the front row, one of them playing right side and one of them playing middle, and getting points somehow. I'm not sure if they have practiced this situation, but I can't imagine if they have practiced it. They haven't practiced it a lot. So also you can see Coach Elder pulling Taylor Smith off the court because the libero, instead of going in for Raylan Edge, is now going in for Taylor Smith, the right side hitter. So they're completely switching up how they run their rotation. Ooh, point to Coach Joel List as he got that point out of the timeout. So Mountain Lions still trying to figure out this rotation. They certainly don't practice this very often and wouldn't know it as well as they would their normal rotation. still need to climb back, though. Nikki Kennedy stopped at the net. Not sure if Josie Russell got a hand on it, but she sure celebrated like she did. Put that one in the stat book. Another big point for the Mountain Lions. They're just really rolling with it. They have a really awkward situation here as well. Oh, just off the top of the tape. High overpass. Nelson just kind of plops it over the block. Ooh, tough touch. Ooh, a little bit of miscommunication. That's going to happen, especially when your rotation's a little off here for the Mountain Lions. So Caitlin Burraway now back to serve, and Kelsey Green in front row for the Rangers. They have this 2-point lead. Mountain Lions need to side out. Out to Nelson, swing down the line for a kill. Just as they drew it up. That's the play that they love, and it works that time. Big swing from Grace Nelson. And of course, she subs out for Allie Morgan. She'll be back to serve with this lefty top spin, sometimes side spin jump serve. Of course, they go back to Kennedy and a huge double block. That's Josie Russell and Lauren Shockley. That's a big, big point for the Mountain Lions. Rangers still holding on to their timeouts here. Morgan with another serve. Ooh, she took something off that one. She was just under it and hit it out. They still got that big point though, so you'll take it in this situation. Really down to the wire now. Every side out is needed. Mountain Lions don't even know how they're going to run this serve receive. Back to Taylor Smith. She's blocked. Ooh, that's a huge point for Regis. And that's when Coach Elder goes for a triple sub to get back to her rotation. It worked for a few points, but in this rotation, they really seemed lost to where they were supposed to be on the court. So now Mountain Lions back in a little more normal rotation for them. They're still transitioning. They need this point here, though. Back to Smith. Off the top of the block. That is a point. High off the block. That's a huge swing. They needed that. And Coach Elder asking about their sub limits and who they have serving in this rotation. Because she's coming up on that sub limit. She doesn't want to have to mess with her lineup at all. So Jordan Kinsey to serve now. Mountain Lions need a big point. And Hornig off the block and down for the win. A well-fought match, ultimately going the way of the Regis Rangers, decided in 5 and by a deuce point. Oh boy. What do we even say at this point? Well-fought match from the Mountain Lions, well-fought match from the Regis Rangers. Great adjustment by their coach after the first set to just go with a different lineup and roll with it the whole night afterwards and trust in his players. Close, well-fought home game to open out whiteout weekend. Of course, not the result the Mountain Lions had hoped for, but they definitely played well and deserve to be acknowledged for that. Regis is a tough team. So we have another game tomorrow night, starting at 5. You should tune in on the webcast, or you should come and show up and get some more whiteout t-shirts. It looks like we just got some stats in too for the 5th set. Let's see who led that set for the Rangers. Caitlin Burraway had 3 kills, hitting .333. Kristen Hornug had 2 kills, hitting .667. She only got set 3 times, 2 kills and three attempts is really good, especially at such limited attempts. For the Mountain Lions, Grace Nelson had 3 kills, hitting 500. In retrospect, you kind of maybe want to go back to her a little bit more in that 5th set. And Taylor Smith with 2 kills, only hitting 200 though in that 5th set. Those blocks, there was 4 team blocks for each team in that 5th set, so really interesting. Just see how that played out. Looks like we'll get a couple replays here to end you out. Just Clyde dancing. Nelson here with those kills to start us out in that 5th set with that hit down the line, and then that high ball out that they called for Ammerman. That was, I believe, the 4th set. There's Green with that inside 32 just over the top of the block. There's that high swing from Ammerman just up the top of the block that found the ground somehow. Kennedy getting blocked by Russell on the slide in the 5th set. There's that slide from Julie Gager. That was that, I can't believe that happened. I can't believe the coach just went for a completely different offense in the last bit of the 5th set. It seemed to work for a while there, but. Okay. And we're back. It's been a crazy, intense match. Very excited for it to go 5 games. Very excited for tomorrow as well. So please tune in tomorrow night at 5 p.m. for some more women's volleyball at UCCS here in the Galloway Event Center. If you have the opportunity, please join us. Pack the stands. The home crowd definitely helps this team. And, that could be the difference between a win and a loss sometimes. So huge shout out to the production crew. Thank you to everybody here on the side of us, taking stats and doing everything. So see you guys tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.